Spar was founded in Durban when a group of 8 wholesalers went into partnership in 1963 to service small retailers. It was once part of the Tiger Brands Group. It was unbundled and relisted in September 2004. It has a market cap of 21 billion rand, a price to earnings ratio of 21 and a dividend yield of 3.3%. So Spar is more of a franchise model here, Paul.
Yeah, that is the difference. But it's got, as a result of that, good margins because they don't tie up as much capital in the stores and the leases and all of that stuff. It's got some very strong attributes as well. It was traditionally more present in the secondary towns. So as a result, it's got a good distribution presence in places like, Carolina and Lichtenburg and Rouville and places of that nature. The benefit of that is that, it turns out there are lots of people there, and in the last few years, government grants have been very important source of fresh cash flow in the rural areas. I mean, it's obvious, but 25 years ago, people had to depend on subsistence agriculture. Now it's become a cash economy in the rural areas, and that's been very good for the retailers. They've got that Build It division and Tops, which is liquor and building material respectively, and I think those have done well, and again, great share price.
Indeed, Tops has done well for Spar. Looking at the share price, what do you make of it right now?
Yes, I think they've got more than 360 stores now on Tops. Their Build It division is also, it grew 19%, so that's trying to take a bit of business away from cash build. I think it's really good. Its earnings and its earnings ratio is slightly better than the other retailers. Can it carry on growing at the pace it's been growing with the top stores? Distribution is really good, and I think that Tops is really outperforming. They've also gone into pharmacy as well. So I think at these levels, do you buy Spar rather than a ShopRite or rather than a Woolworths? I think you're probably getting a very similar type of business model, and I wouldn't hold them all. I like the stock. It's come off its highs. I like it, but I wouldn't say it's hot at the moment.
Paul, do you have any holdings in Spar?
No, we've got a couple of clients who own them. The interesting thing about the booze, look, I'm no big fan of booze retailing because I don't think booze is very helpful to society, but this is not so much the sort of tavern and courts of beer that are going into the lower middle income areas. It's more the middle classes with the hardtack and the specialty beers. I mean, Massmart sells an enormous amount of liquor as well. In fact, it's one of Massmart's strongest business units. But as you may know, if you've been in there, it's all about, wines from fancy estates and craft beers from here, there and everywhere. So I think it's just another retail category to be in. Look, this one is on a 21 PE, so I suppose that's low for this sector. But again, I suppose it hasn't quite captured the imagination of the big global investors yet. It's also smaller and therefore perhaps a little bit less visible.
So you said you were not hot on this one?
I'm not hot at the moment. I think it's a good quality stock, but I would rather go put my money in one of the other retailers at the moment.
Paul, hot or not?
I'm happy to go with hot on account of that little extra business model access to the more rural and peri-urban areas.